We're going to just kick it off with some words from Eric Thomas. I think some of you have followed him or listened to some of his motivational speeches.
Life, you don't want this grind. You want this life. You don't want this work. So listen to me very closely. I have what I have because I'm willing to do what others aren't willing to do. Like, and don't think because I speak, like, don't think because I'm number one in the world, like, I ain't still human. And I ain't still got demons I'm wrestling with and stuff. I'm trying to, but somebody got to fight these demons. And I can't leave it up to the pastor. Somebody got to fight these demons. And I can't leave it up to my wife. Like, some of you are for real. Like, you're so weak. Some of y'all praying.
What are we going to work for? What are we going to work for? June is right around the corner. June is right around the corner. I say good morning to the leader in you. I say good morning to your possibilities. I say good morning to your purpose. The best is yet to come. One of the things that I know that the month of May has taught me, it has taught me tenacity. It has taught me how to stick and stay no matter what the situation is, no matter what hurdles I may face in my business. I learned that I have to stick and stay no matter what. The question that I have to ask you is, what are you willing to stick and stay through? What are you willing to stick and stay through, no matter the obstacles, no matter the odds, no matter the situations, right? What are you willing to stick and stay? Because when we're building a business, there's going to be hurdles, there's going to be challenges, there's going to be things that's going to hit your business, and it's going to come sometimes unexpectedly. But when those unexpected U-turns come your way, that is the opportunity for you to take a stand. That is the opportunity for you to rise to the occasion. That is the opportunity for your mental muscle to be stretched to another level, to a new capacity, right? When us as business owners, when we talk about building, we have to think about how big is our capacity? How far are we willing to grow? One of the things I was researching on the other day was about the capacity of our brain, right? We know our brain is a muscle. Every time we pick up a book, we expand that muscle. Every time we're hit with a challenge and we face that challenge, we deal with that challenge, our mental muscle expands. So as we prepare to go in the month of June, as we prepare, this month is done. Whatever didn't happen, but you still got today to manifest some things. But we got to be preparing our mind for what is coming next in the month of June. What will you manifest in the month of June? What will you say to yourself on today that will be implemented in the month of June? Listen, this is good morning to the leader in you. We say good morning to your possibilities. We say good morning to your purpose. We say good morning to your dreams. We say good morning to those things that have not manifested yet. A lot of times I talked about on the other day with a core group that sometimes just because things that haven't manifested in our business, on our life or what have you, that doesn't mean that it won't manifest. There's times and seasons for everything. Time and season for your business to grow, time and season for your business to mature, right? Just as a child grows up and they go through different phases of their life, so it is with our business. Our business has to sometimes hit that maturity level, but in order to hit that level, our business has to go through cycles and season. Our business has to be tested. Has your business been tested? Have you been tested? Anytime you step out and you say you want to be an entrepreneur, it's going to come with a test, period, point blank. You cannot step out in your business and think that there's no test that's going to come. So I want to encourage you today. I'm going to be talking about something about 7 days, manifesting your dreams in the next 7 days. One of the things that I govern my life by is every 7 days, what am I manifesting? Every 7 days, what am I, putting out there? What am I, making sure that I call forth into my existence, right? I truly believe in the power of words. I truly believe in calling forth every single thing that I haven't manifested yet. What have you not manifested yet? What have you not manifested yet? That's a question. What have you not manifested yet? I think we have a guest that's going to pop in today. Let me see if he is here to see if he's going to join us with this conversation. I think Dr. Leroy McKenzie is joining us in just a few moments. As he's getting set up, I want you to think about, what are you going to manifest for the month of June. And as you think about that, I want to start sharing some pieces from my ebook called 7 Days. Now, in my ebook, each day I give it an assignment. Some of you may have heard me say that, give your day an assignment. And one of the things that I want you to think about is, number one, sometimes you have to detox personally, and sometimes you have to detox your business from anything that's hindering forward movement, anything that could be hindering your business to move fluidly, right? Number two, creating new habits for yourself personally, creating new habits for your business. Day number three, again, we're talking about how to manifest your dreams in 7 days, right? Day number three, rediscovering your why. What is your why for yourself personally in your life? What is your why for your business? Why did you start your business to begin with? Day number four, the 12th round. You know, I started thinking about boxing. I think there was something that happened a couple days ago, and I saw a lot of things online as it relates to boxing, and as it relates to when a boxer get hit, they go down, but they get back up. And that's how we have to think about ourselves with our business. That's how we have to think about our business, that when we get hit, can we get back up? Can we get back up after getting hit? That is the question that we have to ask ourselves. Sometimes we've gone through different phases in our life, different highs and lows in our life. And sometimes we've allowed those lows to make us think and to psych us out that we cannot hit the mark or hit the goal or hit whatever your destination it is that you're trying to achieve. Day number 5, give your day an assignment. This is something that I live by. I don't just wake up and see what's going to stick. I wake up every single morning and I have an agenda. I have a plan of action of what I'm going to do. Yes, I have my days where I have my down day. We all know that we have to have balance. We can't work 24/7. And I get that. But also we have to understand that we have to have a very intentional approach to our everyday life, and that's coupled with our goals. We cannot just have down days every single day. That's imbalance, right? We have to have those down days where we rejuvenate ourselves, and then we have to have those go days where we're getting up, we're getting at it, and we're building our business. Day number 6, the dawning of a new day. That's when you have analyzed your business. You kind of put a game plan together, and now it's go time. It's go time to execute. And that's what June is going to be. I have some pretty aggressive goals for myself for June. I know you do as well. But in order to manifest those goals, the only way to manifest those goals is going to be making sure you have wrote down your action plan. And after you wrote down the action plan, you have action steps that you're going to carry out. You're going to turn a blind eye to distractions. You're going to turn a deaf ear to people that want to pull you off your pathway, right? You're going to turn a deaf ear to all of that. I'm not sure if Dr. Leroy is with us or not, but if you are, can you put something in the chat box? Let me know if you are with us. One of the things that I have to make sure every single day is that I am focused on my goals. I am focused on the intentional steps, because sometimes we can have steps, but they're not intentional for where we need to go. And day number 7 is execute. All of these steps in my ebook is called 7 Days, How to Manifest Your Dreams in 7 Days. Again, the 7th day is called execute. Executing on our dreams, executing on our goals. And, we are just in a phase of our life where it's time for us to move. It's time for us to move out into the next level in our life. It's time for us to move into new territory of our life and stop staying in the land of the familiar. I want to read a little excerpt from my ebook, and it says, now is the time to be released from anything that is toxic and choking your dreams from manifesting. As you read this book, open your mind and enter into a new journey. The next 7 days will transform your life to manifest your dreams. Anyone watching now, anyone watching later, I will give you a complimentary copy of this ebook called 7 Days, How to Manifest Your Dreams in the Next 7 Days. One of the things that's so crucial and that's so important when we're building a business is that we have to be intentional. Anyone that know me know that I'm very intentional about my time. I don't like wasting time. Time is something that you cannot get that I'm going to read a little excerpt from day number 1 called The Detox, The Journey Begins. When you choose this book, I want you to think about what areas of your life, personally and in your business, that you need to detox. When you enter into a detox phase of your life, it will be a process, right? What is the process for? To get away from anything that's toxic. You now are entering into a period of your life to purge your life from unhealthy environments. Sometimes our business is not growing by leaps and bounds that we wanted to because it's not conducive to grow. So just like I love bonsai trees, right? So I have a bonsai, I have 3 of them. And it was time for me to replant them into a new pot. They needed new soil. In order for them to continue to grow, I needed to plant it in new soil. Sometimes our business is not expanding because it's in old soil, just as it was with my plants, my bonsai trees. They are growing, but they were limited in the old pot that they were in. Sometimes your business isn't growing because it's still in an old container. It's still around old environments. It's around old people. It's around old situations. You're not injecting anything new into what you're building for your business. Just like with my plants, I had to put it into a new pot, a larger pot. I had to put it in new fresh soil. And then I had to water it, because I could have, put it in a new pot, gave it new soil, but didn't add no water to it, right? And it still would have died. It still would have died. Dr. Leroy is trying to get on. He's having some technical difficulties. Hopefully he'll be able to join us for this episode. One of the things that I know that's so true about building a business, your business will not grow if nothing is being inserted into it to help it to grow, to help it to expand. So that's what you have to think about. What are you inserting into your business to help it to grow, to help it expand? I intentionally put myself in situations and surroundings to expand my level of thinking, because of my level of thinking is the same from back 98, when I was 18. There's no way in which my business can grow in 2022 if I still have the same level of thinking back in 1998. There's no way. So in order for your business to grow, your mindset has to grow, right? And so one of the things that I know Dr. Leroy is an avid, he put it on his page and he preaches this all the time, which I am in agreement. Pick up a book. I think I saw something on his page talk about he's trying to read a certain amount of books by the end of this year. Reading the book stretches that mental muscle. Your mind is a muscle. How often are you stretching it? Sometimes we stretching it too much and we are putting in it too many negative things from social media. Now, yes, I utilize social media to promote my business, to promote different things that I'm doing, but we cannot let that be the only source and what's going into our mind, right? Sometimes we got to unplug from social media, utilize it for what we need it for, unplug it and get into the real life, get into the world, right? And one of the things that I know for me that I have to do, for those that follow my page, I love going to botanical gardens, right? And when I go to botanical gardens, it is my time to unplug. It is my time to recharge. What are you doing for yourself as a leader, as the CEO of your company, as the founder of your company, to help you recharge? That is the question that you have to ask yourself. What are you doing to recharge? I'm not saying work 24/7. I know some people think I'm just 24/7. No, I do have my downtime. I do have my relaxed time, but I also understand that I have some pretty aggressive goals. So I can't have downtimes every single day. That's not going to help me towards my goals. And it's not going to help nobody towards their goals. So identify what works for you, that fuels you up, that gives you energy, and then go make it happen. But then when it's go time and it's time to work, put a blinder onto anything that's going to try to distract you. Put a blinder onto it. This is your time to go. This is your time to build. Let me go back to the detox. It says you must enter into a phase that you allow your mindset to convert to where you're going. You have to allow your mindset to convert to where you're going. Again, the mind is a mental muscle. Think about when you're exercising and you're working out. Maybe you haven't, let's say you skipped a couple workouts and you hadn't worked out in a while. Your body can also flow back into that workout regimen because even your muscles throughout your body has memory. I used to dance when I was young and then I had a knee injury. And so for what the doctor had told me, even though I had the injury in my knee, a lot of the things that I used to do, even in dance as I was younger, my muscles will remember a lot of that stuff because I was in a training. And if anybody ever been a part of a dancing school or dancing company, you are, trained is a very specific structure in terms of what you're supposed to do, right? Very specific. And so what I say to you is when I say give your day an assignment, it trains your mind to have a certain rhythm. Just like anybody that's out there that might be a dancer. When you're dancing to the rhythm of music. When you give your day an assignment as a business owner, you're giving your mind a rhythm on how you're going to operate your business, right? Time will get away from you, and then we will wake up and it's going to be the end of this year and we will say, well, what happened with 2022? Oh, well, I'm going to make it happen in 2023. If we didn't make it happen in 2022 and we didn't give our day an assignment and we didn't give ourselves a schedule, chances are it's not going to happen in 2023 because our habits have not changed, right? Building a business is all about what ritual habits are you forming as you're building your business, right? What habits do you have in place as you're building your business? One of the things that's so key and so important when you're building a business is to master the art of the mundane. I know sometimes things can seem trivial when you're building a business, but sometimes it's those small, finite things that will help your business to grow. And sometimes we're simply not doing that. We're simply not doing that. Why do we call this Good Morning to the Leader in You? I call this show Good Morning to the Leader in You because we are awakening our senses to who we are and to our capabilities and to our capacity that we can grow into, right? This podcast is all about increasing our capacity. This podcast is all about iron sharpening iron, where we have different leaders coming on talking about how they built their business and what tools, what things that they utilize to build and to go forth, right? It's all about capacity building, right? When we think about our business, we have to think about what capacity can our business grow into? And based on the capacity is based on what you're putting into it. Based on the level and how big your business will grow will be based on what you're putting into it. And it's based on what you're putting into your own mindset. What are you listening to? When you wake up in the morning, what do you listen to? What's the first thing that you listen to? What's the first thing that you see? Our senses will gravitate to all of that. And it will set the tone for your entire day. So if someone says, I wanted my business to excel this day, I wanted to close the deal, I wanted to do this, but none of those things happened. I want you to think about, how did you set the tone for the day? What did you listen to? What was the first thing you listened to? What was the first thing that your eyes caught contact? Because that sends messages to your brain and it can help, it can dictate the day. Just like it can dictate a day that may not go well, you can also dictate a day that will go well. We're calling ourselves leaders. So as leaders, we have to operate in certain ways. Don't try to measure yourself up to anyone else. You're not the same as anyone else, right? You're unique. You're set apart. You are unique. You are different. So when we talk about June and we're going to manifest a lot of things in June, we only are going to manifest those things in the month of June based on our daily habits. Something's not going to just bloop, drop out the sky and it's just going to happen. That's not reality. And I know sometimes we want the easy way to build a business, but that's not reality either. And if something comes to you easy, it can also leave easy. So I'm a firm believer when you're building a business, you need to build a strong foundation with your business. So that way, it can stand the test of time. It's not going to open up one day and close the next day. How are you building your business? In what ways are you building your business? What are your strategies? What are your tools? I'm seeing if Dr. Leroy McKenzie can join us. He chimed in again. We'll see if he's going to be able to connect. Well, what tools are you using? What tools are you using for growth in manifesting your dreams? What tools are you using? A lot of times you have to think back to your business plan. You have to think back to your fundamentals. What tools are you using? How are you building your business? What is your methods? What is your methodology? What is your operating procedures within your company? All of these things make a difference. Sometimes we don't move forward in our business because we don't have the foundation. And so one of the things that I want to say to you today, I'm just popping in as a moment of encouragement and inspiration. Next week, we're going to have a brand new guest coming on. I just wanted to summarize this month to say to you that the best is yet to come. And in order to manifest the best, you have to have a game plan and you have to give your day an assignment. If you don't give your day an assignment, your day will get away from you and you won't hit the goals. You won't hit the dreams. You won't be able to manifest those things that you want. I want to also read something from my ebook, 7 Days, How to Manifest Your Dreams. Sometimes we have to declutter our mind. We have to cut out the toxic people in our life. We have to be intentional about our surrounding, who's around us, keep positive people that have positive influence around us. And we have to review your goals daily. Dr. Leroy, if you can come on, just go ahead and chime in and unmute yourself, and turn your video on. Let me know if that's working for you. You have to review your goals daily, and you have to physically get rid of any clutter around you, any clutter that is around you. I'm going to pause for a second and bring on Dr. Leroy. Dr. Leroy, can you say something? Let me know you're with us, or turn your video on.
Can you hear me?
Dr. Leroy?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm unmuted.
Okay. Perfect. How are you? Is your video working?
No, the video for some reason is not.
No worries at all. For those of you that know Dr. Leroy McKenzie, know that he wrote a book on leadership. Dr. Leroy, can you talk about some pieces of your book that deals with leadership? First of all, what is the entire title of your book? And then what are some pieces that you would like to share today?
Well, the title of the book is The Art of Leadership, Success Strategies for the 21st Century Leader. And what I talk about in the book is actually leadership from 5 different perspectives, and what I call the pillars of the community, which are the leadership from the family, education, government, business, and the church, being a leader in any or all of those positions. And I wrote it because there was for me, I was seeing that there was a lack of leadership in our community, in our society today as a whole, not just our community, but society as a whole. There was a lack of leadership, and what I noticed, and hopefully what the reader got out of the book, was the understanding of where that lack of leadership came from. Because what I was seeing was that you had people that were in positions of leadership that were either not equipped to be leaders, or they were in the position for just the title of leader, of having that title behind their name. So it became, it put us in a position coming into, and now 2 decades into, almost 3, going into early 2nd decade or 3rd decade of the 21st century, I asked the question, what is leadership? What does it look like? What do we need to do in order to be able to be effective leaders in any of those positions? So I talked about, being a leader, but I talked about renewing our mind, which, you and I talk about renewing our mind and having the mindset of a leader. What's the mindset of a leader? What do you need to do in order to be able to be an effective leader doing the work? Mm-hmm. You got a lot of folks that want these titles, but don't want to do the work of a leader. Being a leader is not just sitting behind a desk or sitting, in a position and telling everyone else what to do. Mm-hmm. There's a responsibility that comes with that position. You have to understand about waiting for your moment. There's a grooming process for leadership. You don't just automatically become a leader. I talk a little bit about Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan had to learn how to win. He had to learn how to be a leader. Mm-hmm. Magic Johnson, the same thing. Even an Earl Graves, or all of these individuals had to learn how to become leaders. They had mentors, if you will. They had someone that taught them about being, what it was to be a leader. Being the hardest worker, like I just said, being a leader is not sitting back. It's actually being the first one there. The last one is the last one to leave. That's what you're called to do as a leader. Staying hungry, as Les Brown says, you gotta always be hungry.
Yeah.
You got to have a passion for what it is that you're trying to do, the vision that you have, because if you ain't hungry, nobody that you have working with you or for you will be hungry. So there's a passion that comes along with it. There's a hunger that you have to have. And then you gotta, as a leader, one of the things that I'm gonna kind of shift off of that. But is you got to act like you belong there.
Mhm.
You know, you've got when you there's sometimes as a business owner, you have to walk in that room as if it's you belong there. Even if you're scared to death and you feel like you're overwhelmed or you're over your head, you still walk in that room like I belong here. I'm doing the things that I've been called to do, that I've been assigned to do. So we got to walk like a leader. That's what leaders do. They walk as if they've been there before, being battle tested. As an entrepreneur, as a leader, you're gonna get knocked down. You're gonna get knocked down. You're gonna get knocked down, and you're gonna get knocked down. But the question is getting back up, getting back up, dusting yourself off, getting back up, and saying, you know what? I'm not gonna let this obstacle get the best of me. I'm not gonna let this obstacle take me down and me not be able to get back up. So those are just some of the things that I talk about in the book. And you were saying just some great things about 6 months in, because we're 6 months into 2022, Kathy. 6 months in.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and what I've been and a couple other my businesses, what we've been doing is doing the 6 month check-in
Mhm.
and check up. That's checking up on your business. That's
Mhm.
checking up on yourself, because you should use this time to do that. You want to do this. If you're able to do it monthly, great. But you should be at minimum. You should be doing a business checkup, personal checkup, quarterly, semi-annually, or and at minimum annual.
Mhm.
You don't want to wait till to do it once a year, because then you trying to fit all of this stuff or trying to fix all these things once a year. But if you're consistently doing it at least quarterly or month, semi-annually, by the end of the year, you're able to keep knowing what you were talking about, knowing how your business is doing, how you're doing,
Mhm.
those kinds of things. So doing that 6 month checkup, because we've gotten so you have 6 months worth of data
Mhm.
now that you can look at your business. You can look at the goals that you had, like you were talking about. You could look at the goals that you had for 2022. Are
Mhm.
you hitting them? Are
Mhm.
you where you want to be this year? If you're not, then do an honest assessment
Mhm.
of where you are. Say, was it me that was getting in the way? Were there obstacles that get in the way? Because when I was in the hospitality industry and we had to do our department budgets for the year,
Mhm.
we would use the prior year to look at where we want to be going into that next year. And we
Mhm.
had to evaluate, were there things that were going on in a certain month
Mhm.
that caused us to happen. Because in the hospitality industry, the months of January, February, and March, when you get snow, it can affect your occupancy. it can
Mhm.
it can affect your department, because you have guests that would ordinarily not be there,
Mhm.
that are there because they had to stay over. So of course that's gonna give your occupancy, make your occupancy higher. So you have to understand those things. What were there some extenuating circumstances, or is this something that's kind of consistently you've noticed over the past, year, 2 years, or even if you're just starting out, then it's something that you want to be able to fall back on, to be able to make sure that you're adequately notating the things that are going on. And if you're doing the quarterly, monthly, semi-annual checkups, then you can actually look back at these things. So it's having those processes or those systems in place so that you can do that, so that you can
Absolutely.
adequately look up what it is that you're having to do. So
And
yeah,
for
this
those,
6 month
for
checkup is really key for you and your small business. So I'll
Uh, yeah,
give it
no,
back.
no, don't go anywhere. I still want to
Mm.
explore some
No,
more
no, I'm
about
not
your
going
book.
man.
But for those that's listening now or going to be listening later, you're hearing the voice of Dr. Leroy McKenzie, author, CEO of J&F Enterprise, based here in the Baltimore, Maryland area and around. He has several clients that's in multiple states. So if you need assistance around book publishing, and anything in terms of that arena, he is definitely the person that you want to reach out to. Right now, we're having a discussion about his book. He wrote a book that deals with what does the 21st century leader look like? What are the ingredients of a leader, and what do we need to do now? And so I want to pick back from what you were talking about, how we're 6 months in. I know I saw a post on your page that was talking about you're about to read books. Can you share some of the books that you're going to be reading for those that may want some ideas on what they can read?
No, it's actually I'll tell you right. Well, one of my assignments, because I don't call them goals, I call them assignments, was to read 30 books this year.
Okay.
And where that came from was I was watching YouTube. I was watching an interview, and I believe the brother's name is Jay Morrison down in Atlanta. A very successful entrepreneur and everything. But he was saying if you read an average of 20 pages a day, you will have read 30 books in a year. So I think, okay, that's that's doable. You know, that broke it down into a more doable thing versus somebody saying, okay, you know, I want to read, 15 books or whatever, and then you're trying to read, a full book, and then this, that, and the other, and not really be strategic about it. So I was like, when he broke it down that way, I said that's really doable. I said because 20 pages a day is not an hour. That's less than an hour,
right,
a day. So it becomes a discipline for you. It becomes a part of your schedule, your daily schedule, and it becomes a part of your lifestyle. So that's what I was like, well, let me do that approach. I said, because they say Catherine, they say that the average person only reads one book per year. One, but that's one, not one book a month. Average. So can you imagine? Just think about this. And for those that are listening, those that are watching, and those that are watching the replay, can you imagine how much further you are than someone if you read 30 books and someone that reads one book? How much further you are. And I got that from I was watching an interview with Kobe Bryant, and he was talking about his workout regimen. And he was saying how he had noticed that the NBA players, they had their routines, and they were working out maybe twice a day. So he was like, well, how do I make myself better and doing things better than everybody else? So what he did was, he said he incorporated an additional workout into his schedule, or two, it might have been two, I believe it was, because he would get up at 3-4 o'clock in the morning, and then he would start his day that way. And he said he had where the average, I think, NBA player might have had 2 workouts. He was now doing 4. So he was doubling what everybody else was doing just by getting up earlier. So he had a strategy to what he was doing to get better and to be better than everybody else. He didn't, like you were saying, they want to be average. He wasn't average. He was about being the best basketball player ever in the NBA. That was his goal. So we have to do things like that, so reading 30 books, was like, okay, that's a very doable goal. The books that I'm reading have been, they run the gamut. I've read some novels. I've read, of course, some very inspirational books, read some leadership books. And I just finished reading the book by John Maxwell, if you will.
Which one specifically?
It's called Everyone Communicates. Everyone Communicates, Few Connect. But it was about connecting. It was about as a leader, if you will, as a speaker, not just communicating, but connecting. How do you make that connection with, as an entrepreneur, how are you connecting with your clients? If you're a speaker, how are you connecting with your audience? As a leader, how are you connecting with those that you lead? So, I tell you, it was one of the best books that I've read. It was just, it was that phenomenal. That great. It had that so much richness in it as far as the information.
And what is that title again? I'm gonna look.
It's called Everyone Communicates, Few Connect.
Everyone communicates, a few connect.
Few Connect.
I'm gonna get that one.
Yeah, that is definitely one, and I grabbed that one from the library, and it wasn't on my list. It just happened to be at the library, and I was asking the librarian if they had any books by John Maxwell, and this was the one that they had available. So okay, let me check it out. It seems like it's pretty good, but I'm glad I did, because it was a really great it was a great read.
What would you say your top 3 takeaways was from the book?
One is doing an assessment of, or doing your research of the people that you're connecting with. One, because the only way that you can effectively connect with someone is by knowing, taking the time to know something about them, understanding who they are, because that's the way that you get to know what it is that they're in need of. If in regards to being a leader, being an entrepreneur, that kind of thing. So that was one, is doing the research, showing people that you care about them. That's what a connector does, because they say people don't do business with people who people do business with who they know, like, and care, or someone doesn't do business with you until they know that you care. So
Right.
that was the second thing. And then the third thing is be you have to be passionate. Be passionate about connecting, because that passion that you have for wanting to connect with people will come across to them.
Absolutely.
And it makes you an even more effective connector. So that's the three things that I got from that I gained from it. But it's so much. I got a notebook full of notes that I took, Kevin, because this one was from the library, so I couldn't mark it up. I couldn't highlight it and everything. So
again, the name of that book is Everyone Communicates, A Few Connect, by John C. Maxwell. Listen, June is right around the corner. June 1st is specifically on Wednesday. Tomorrow it is 6 months in at that point, half of the year. So what are you doing differently, or what are you going to do differently with your business as we flow into the month of June? Detox where you need to detox, eliminate things that need to be eliminated, detox your mind, detox your space, wherever you're doing your business, in your home office or wherever. You need to make sure you rid yourself of clutter that's cluttering your mind and cluttering your business to move forward. Again, in order for you to achieve the goals you want to see in the month of June, and the end of the year goals by December, is going to be predicated upon what we do. Again, we're at 6 months in, starting Wednesday, June the 1st. 6 months in, 6 months left of the year. What will you do different in your own personal life? What will you do different in your business that's going to take your business to the next level? Again, master the art of the mundane. Give yourself an assignment. Give every day in your business an assignment. Make sure you balance. You have your personal downtime, but you can't have downtime every day and expect your goals to manifest. You have to walk with intentionality and being intentional about your goals, being aggressive about your goals. Dr. Lee, we'll talk a little bit about the intentionality of a schedule as a business owner.
Let me tell you, Catherine, I love the fact that what you said about give your day intention. And one of I have it's a planner, journal, budget, budgeting, that I use. One of my clients, she created this journal. It's called my lifestyle planner. But it's a journal. It's a devotional. I'm sorry. Yeah, a planner, a devotional, a budgeting. It has a budgeting piece. It has like 4 different aspects. Because we go out, when we'll get a journal. We'll get a budgeting, calendar, whatever. We'll get a daily schedule, that type of thing. Well, she incorporated everything, all of that into one big lifestyle planner. And I used it. I literally use it because I have my day scheduled. And this is what you were just talking about. I have my day scheduled from 5 a.m. to 11 p.m. Where I have marked what I'm doing. If I'm sleeping, I got it written on there. If I have certain things that I need to do for that particular day, my goals that I have for that day, my priorities that I have for that day, I have it all scheduled out. My devotional, the scripture that I use, or the scripture that I may use several scriptures, and just like your soul food, you have a list of scriptures. I can use that for my whole week. Those are different scriptures that I can use for each day as a part of my devotional. Right. So that's planning out my day. And she even has you where you plan your week and then your day out. And then at the end of the week, there's a summary of the assignments or goals that you set for yourself. Did you accomplish them? Did you not accomplish them? which ones did you accomplish, which ones didn't you? And then there's area where you can write a little bit, if you want to have a little notation about what, kind of like what I asked about, did you, what were you the obstacle, or were there other obstacles that came out? So that when you go back and you can look at what you did over these first 6 months, and then going into the next 6 months, when you're going into 2023, you can look back. Oh, I can look back over what I did this year. I can look back over what I want to do for 2023, or what I want to do in the second half of 2022. I can break down what my goals are for the third quarter, what I want to accomplish in the third quarter, and then what I want to accomplish in the fourth quarter. Am I hitting those goals? So that's, to me, has been the key for being able to do that, is having that daily planner, having that assignment, giving my hours, assignments, so that I know what I'm doing, and that I have my days planned out, that I can have the things, so that I'm not wasting time. So
Absolutely.
we're not wasting time, because that's the
Absolutely.
one thing we can't get back. So
You can't get back time. And thank you so much for sharing about that, and making, you have a system in place. That's what I'm hearing you say. You have a system, you have a tool to help you create that system. And from creating that system,
Yep.
you're now able to execute. I do want to
Absolutely.
give a shout out to Varlesia Toll for tuning in to this morning's broadcast. She is the CEO of Fashionably Chic Tour. Again, want to give a shout out to Varlesia Toll for tuning in. Again, she is the CEO of Fashionably Chic Tour. You will probably see a lot of her stuff on my page. I have known her for a long time. We're friends, but we are also business colleagues. So definitely go check out her business page. There's so many good things that's going to be, coming from her business. So just stand by, follow her page, and wait for those announcements to come. Dr. Leroy, please share with everyone your contact information and how they can get your book.
Sure, they can connect with me through my website, first at www.jnfenterprises.com. They can go to, and I'm gonna give you it's the link tree, which will have all of the other aspects of it too, but that's http colon link linktr.ee/JNF Enterprises. That'll have all of my social media handles, and it'll connect you with my Facebook page, which is my regular page, which is my name, Dr. Leroy McKenzie Jr., or my business page, which is JNF Enterprises, Instagram page, Dr. LJ Speaks, LinkedIn page, Dr. Leroy McKenzie Jr., my YouTube channel. Please check out the YouTube channel. I have a lot of digital content that I believe that everyone can benefit from on there, and that's JNF Enterprises as well. Because I have a different shows that I host, or podcasts that I have on there, that I think is really great information that I upload and put that I talk about, and then even videos that I do myself on just training, business consulting, development, all of those great things, things with authors as well too. So you can check out any of those to be able to connect with me. You can get the book on the website, of course, as well too. And there are other products and services that I offer as well too, so they can check it out there.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing that. Definitely plug into what Dr. Leroy McKenzie is doing, plug into all of his links that he just shared. My contact information is www.catherinetrotter.com. It's simply my first and last name.com. Go to my website. All of my links you can find there. You can download my media kit to learn more about my services and products that I have to offer. In the month of June, I will be in Georgia. I am doing a business development training, a strategy session. So if you're in the Georgia area, we do have a couple seats available. Send me an email, ct@catherinetrotter.com. And June 11th, we're doing a strategy business retreat in the Georgia area. To find out more information, just send me an email, ct@catherinetrotter.com. Listen, one of the things I live by is giving my day an assignment. I'm going back to that, and that's how we're going to close out. I want you to be thinking about the next 7 days, knowing tomorrow is June 1st, 6 months in. How are you going to manifest your dreams over the next 7 days? How are you going to transform your life? How are you going to transform family, your business. Yes, you can do a lot of things in the next 7 days. So I want you to take today and map out what you want to make happen for the month of June. Map it out, write it out, put sticky notes wherever you need to put it to for reminders to yourself. Put it in your car, put it on your walls where you are, put it in your home office, wherever you need to put it. But manifest. And I want to end on that note. I want you to dream big. Know your thought, your ideas, what you want to do is not too big. And if anyone's around you saying it's too big, get away from them. Continue to grow, increase your capacity. And I'm going to see everybody at the top.